Good morning. Welcome to the most amazing Thursday morning, early morning intuitive guidance that we've had in a long time. I can't wait to share this card with you. Let me grab a drink here. Seemingly out of nowhere pops this amazing card, and we're going to be doing a healing process with it. So if you want to grab a natural item, good morning Lucy, or an ice cube in a bowl, or something that you're willing to bury, release, plant somewhere, let go of, great. So if you want to gather something while I'm talking, that would be great. Good morning Barb, welcome, welcome. Good morning, good morning, good morning. We're doing an amazing healing ceremony today. Good morning, Sue. Glad you are here. This one is so cool. It's from the Wild Kuan Yin deck. And you know how much I love those cards. And again, they're a little longer than your typical card, but holy wow, does this one pack a wallop, and it certainly is spot on for me today. So I'm really excited to share this card with you. Good morning, Carolyn. Welcome, welcome. Just waiting for all the regulars to roll in. Interesting, I think I've greeted about 5 of you, and my counter still says 2. So good morning, Cindy. Welcome, welcome. Apparently the counter has not awakened from its slumber yet. So again, if you can gather something that you are willing to bury in the garden, I'm using an ice cube so that it can melt on its own. So I got a little bowl of an ice cube in. Whatever, something you're ready to release, don't worry about what you're going to put in it for intentions. We're going to do that together. But if you just have something handy, that would be great. So it could also be something that you don't mind just putting in the garden. Good morning. I'm glad you're here, Carolyn. Thank you for the hearts and the rainbow. So let's take a couple of nice deep breaths just to prepare for this healing process. It's going to be so awesome. In through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Good morning, Abigail. Glad you are here. Welcome, welcome. So, I have to tell you also, as you continue to breathe deeply and easily, just kind of centering yourself right here, right now, I actually took myself to a yoga class last night in the park. It was beautiful. The breeze was blowing. It was absolutely lovely. And there were only a couple things that I struggled to do because of the ribs, so I was quite happy about that. I'm a little sore this morning, but it was good to get back to yoga. Really happy with myself that I made a decision and followed through. So we now have 7 of you here, so that is a good start. Let me give you the reminder again. We're going to be doing a healing ceremony with this card. Good morning, Peggy. Welcome, welcome. Now we're up to 9. I love how that happens. We're going to be doing a healing ceremony with this card. So good morning, Gwen. So if you can gather something that you're willing to bury in the garden, to plant outside, thank you. I was quite proud of me. It was a good crowd too, and it was right adjacent the cemetery, so it was very quiet, it was beautiful, it was just very nice. Now I hear she's moving to Milwaukee, but I think she's still going to keep doing the outdoor yoga class here, which is good. And then as winter rolls around and it's too cold to be outdoors, I'll just have to look some more and see what else is going on that I could join. But I was very, very pleased with myself that I went, and that it wasn't downward dog. Getting into the position was a little difficult, but once I was there, I was fine. So quite excited about that. So hopefully everybody has had time to gather something. I've got an ice cube in a bowl. It can be a rock. It can be a piece of paper that you're going to write something on. Who knows? Whatever it is. But you're going to release it. You're going to release it. So we're going to bury it. We're going to, if it's the ice cube, people might put it in their sink and just let it melt. Whatever it is. But here we go. Ready for this? Wild Kuan Yin. Alana Fairchild. Love this deck. And our card for today is actually the second card in the deck. And we actually used my friend Cynthia's version of the Wild Kuan Yin deck this week, Tuesday, for our coffee group. So, ice cube, fabulous. Even if it melts, it doesn't matter, because it's in the bowl, all the intentions are in there, and you're good to go anyway, girl. No problem. It's card number 2. Her joy overcomes gravity. Her joy overcomes gravity. And when I read it, I'm like, really, Spirit? Really? This is such an intense time for so many people. Her joy overcomes gravity. And then I started reading it, and I'm like, yeah, the wisdom, right? So here we go. And you can just focus on some nice deep breaths as I'm reading and just allow whatever needs to sink into you to sink in. Here we go. Her joy overcomes gravity. Good morning, Deb. There is joy when you trust in my invisible vast presence, into which it is safe to fall. With surrender into my care, that which was heavy becomes weightless. Without force or effort, you shall be sustained in the field of my grace, which captures your spirit in an uplifting current. Your soul shall rise and soar as if lifted by holy winds across the plains. Doesn't that sound beautiful? Doesn't that sound lovely as we're slogging through this dense time? I just think this sounds fabulous. You shall be enchanted by the lightness of your spirit, free, experiencing all and holding on to nothing. Experiencing all and holding on to nothing. How cool is that? Good morning, Lisa. Glad you are here. Welcome, welcome. As I continue reading, just those of you who are just popping on, if you want to gather something that you're willing to let go of, I've got an ice cube in a bowl and I'm just going to go put it in the garden when we're done with this ritual. You can pick a rock, you can pick a piece of paper you're going to write something on, anything that you're going to be willing to release with the intentions that are going to go along with it from this process. You are to become one with me, upended clumsily or with grace. I love that. Upended clumsily or with grace. That's sort of that, yes, it has been a while. I'm glad you're back. Welcome, welcome. And this is a great card to step in on, a really great card. That quote from Marion Woodman, who was a Jungian analyst, and her analyst said to her at one point, Mrs. Woodman, you're either going to go there squealing like a pig to slaughter, or you can pick yourself up and walk with some modicum of grace. Something along that line. So I thought that was quite the line. Good morning, Beth. Glad you are here. So let's continue here. You are to become one with me, upended clumsily or with grace, whatever shall best serve to topple you into my joyful play. To topple you into my joyful play. Yes, you're at that thing in Oshkosh. I wanted to go and I screwed up the registration date and I was one day too late. So gather good information, Beth. Gather good information. There is nothing so heavy that my joy cannot lighten. Hear that again. There is nothing so heavy that my joy cannot lighten. Even the most cumbersome of burdens shall become light as feathers as you join me in the field of spiritual grace. All right, so here we go. Keep breathing. There is something you are daring to dream of, a hope in your heart for a miraculous healing, a birth, a manifestation, a creation, something you wish to become. This is not a small hope. It is one that may at times seem to defy gravity itself, so unlikely, improbable, or even impossible as it may seem. Thank you, Cindy. I appreciate you posting it so everyone can read it over and over and over again. Or perhaps you worry you've bitten off more than you can chew. It's too heavy a load, too big a dream for you to bring to life. It may seem as if you are dreaming of a new reality, the exact opposite to the reality you are experiencing now. Or perhaps, good morning, Linda, welcome, welcome. You are simply at a challenging time in life, and I think most of us are right now. There is so much dense energy around us, and likely to continue, I hear, until the beginning of August and we move into Lionsgate. So we shall see. Irrespective of whether or not you have a clear vision for another future ahead. So whether or not you can see down the road right now is kind of tumultuous and difficult for a lot of people. Some people are sailing along and that's cool, wonderful. Other people are slogging along. I actually have my uncle and aunt, their granddaughter just lost her baby. So they're all grieving. So I think that fits with, and that's this next sentence. You may be in loss, grief, despair, or rage. You may feel frightened or just simply need reassurance that your labors through darkness, the battles you are fighting, shall not be the end of you. Shall not be the end of you, okay? This is not going to kill you. Feels like it sometimes, but it's not going to kill you, okay? So on we go. You may be struggling, slogging away. I loved the fact that she used the word slogging away, because that's kind of how I look at it. trying to do things the hard way, believing that only sheer force, willpower, effort, and persistence can prevail upon life and free you from your darkness. Well, there is that divine masculine approach, isn't it? There is a time and a place for hard work, that is true. Yet, there are some things that can be accomplished, that can only be accomplished, in fact, with a far lighter approach. Welcome the divine feminine. Need another drink. When you come to a point in your journey where there seems to be more to lift than you can carry, then it is time to stop trying to bear the load and allow it to be lifted off you. Holy buckets. Allow it to be lifted off of you. Yes, it's possible. It can be done. At the edge of what our own efforts can deliver, there can be anxiety, fear, or doubt. We may try to hold on and control the situation instead, yet what will bring us to the next level of attainment is quite the opposite. And again, if you're like me, this is not something you're overly practiced up at. When things get difficult, we hunker down, we dig in, we make stuff happen. That's not the approach for this. That's not the approach. The message of the Oracle of Her Joy Overcomes Gravity is to take an approach based on wisdom rather than force. I'm glad this is hitting the spot, Deb. That is good, because it's certainly chiming for me too. Stop pushing and creating more resistance. There, that's my mantra. Stop pushing and creating more resistance. It is not necessary for your freedom and success. Life can be challenging enough, except there is a field of grace that wants to help you when you have pushed yourself beyond your limits, or for some reason, despite your best intentions, you cannot help yourself through whatever you are facing. Except that there is a field of grace that wants to help you. Except that there's a field of grace that wants to help you. I'm going to say it again. Except that there's a field of grace that wants to help you. You are not being asked to give up your responsibility for your life. You are being asked to take responsibility for all your resources, for all the means available to you to bring your dreams to life. This means acknowledging and allowing for divine assistance. Thank you, Cindy. I appreciate that. That one's going to be rattling around in my head all day. Acknowledging and allowing for divine assistance. This oracle brings you twofold guidance. Firstly, let go. Become soft. So let's just do that right now. Take a couple of breaths. Releasing on the exhale. Breathing into any areas of holding, resistance, tightness, just breathing into them, ventilating them, a la Pema Chodron. Breathing into them, just relaxing, releasing, allowing. Fall back a little into divine comfort. Take your hands off the controls for a moment. Does this seem to be a critical time or a time when nothing is happening? It matters not. Either way, this is the approach you are guided to adopt. Let go, become soft, settle back. When the divine wishes to step in with grace, it shall be the right time to receive it. You've drawn this card because it is the right time now, or very soon will be. You shall feel it, a nudge within to simply let drop your worries, to let go. Yesterday I didn't do any of this kind of work, and nothing on the intentional community. I just allowed it to be. I did other things, but was not focusing on it. Sometimes it needs, like bread, it needs rise time. How do you fall into the divine embrace? Take your mind off things. See to your needs, particularly your need for relaxation and play. This will assist you in shifting your focus away from troubles and into a more receptive state where solutions can manifest. Again, Albert Einstein, we do not solve problems with the same consciousness that created them. So when we shift to something mindless, gardening, whatever, laundry, going for a walk, anything like that can be helpful to get your brain offline, and then creativity and solutions can come to you. Do the healing process that follows. Trust a little more. Even just a little trust goes a long way, allowing that which was heavy to become lightened by divine grace. It is also a reminder that even amongst the most passionate and serious pursuits or most intense emotional journeys, there will be moments where you can breathe light. You must find a moment to smile, to play, to feel lightness in your heart. It is not disrespectful to do so. It is not denial to do so. It is not callous or selfish, our favorite word, right? To do so. It is how one stays in connection to grace. You are not being asked to put aside your struggles, but simply to loosen your grip so the Divine Mother can take a hold of them instead, and through her grace, work healing energy and solutions into manifestation. So even if you are consumed with darkness in great loss, imagine there is a tiny pinhole of light that exists in the deepest recesses of your heart that can never be extinguished. I'm glad this is a very good message. A very good message, yes. Even through darkest night, that light is present. And when you remember it, even just for that moment, you shall be able to take pleasure and joy in some facet of your life experience, in some sweet memory or some hopeful prayer. These moments are the falling into the joyful hands of the Divine Mother, where great comfort and blessings of healing are granted. I don't know if any of you saw on my personal page yesterday, I posted a little thing that kind of reminds me of this. My daughter had sent me a message saying, "Let's make a lunch date. Let's get together for lunch. I'm hungry for strawberry pie," i.e. Mom, make a strawberry pie. And I sent back, "We certainly can get together for lunch, but I vowed I am not making another pie until I get a pastry cloth." The one we had kaput, so we needed to find a new pastry cloth. And I've looked at a couple of places, but there hasn't been one. When I put in the word, I was doing voice to text, which is always dangerous for me. When I put in the word vowed, it substituted awed, A-U-D. That's my mother's name, my deceased mother, who was a kick-ass baker who made fabulous pies. Her lemon meringue pie was renowned. And I'm like, ooh, this is a sign. This is a big sign. I mean, why would it pick the word odd? Come on now. So I sent back, well, I guess I better get on with finding a pastry cloth. Later that day, after I posted it on Facebook, my sister rattled my cage and said, "I have a pastry cloth. I rarely use it. You can have it." And I'm like, wow. So that was quite the interesting thing. So this leads to the second piece of advice. In your heart, you hold some doubt about whether what you love, can truly and completely be made flesh, can come to life, can be made real. You may wonder if the darkness you are in can ever really be resolved or healed. This oracle card tells you that it is possible, that you must have faith and let go. What appears to be even the heaviest of burdens shall be shown in due course to hold merely the weight of a single feather. I have another example there. Yesterday in my memories, a 10-year-old memory popped up of something difficult. And I'm like, I don't even remember that. I don't even remember that happening. I can't even orient to it at this point, which I thought was quite interesting. 10 years ago, it was a big, hairy deal. Now it's like, I don't even remember that. Interesting. Okay. What appears to be even the heaviest of burdens shall be shown in due course to hold merely the weight of a single feather. For when you allow the Divine Mother to pick up a burden, you become free. She lifts effortlessly what is impossible for us to carry. If you're not sure that this is possible, if you cannot quite summon absolute belief, then why not treat this letting go process as an experiment without placing conditions upon it, to just see what happens. I love doing that. I love telling clients that. Let's experiment. Let's try it. We got nothing to lose, right? Let's take a whack at it. So, if you will allow yourself, let go now. Come into your heart, and you may even find that you connect with the simple happiness and joy of letting go and trusting in the wild grace of the Divine Mother. She will hold you like an invisible net so that you can fall free into grace as the circumstances of your life unfold, just as they are meant to, according to the highest plan for your destiny. There's stuff we're learning here from all of the difficulties. So here is our healing process. Cindy, I don't know about your ice cube, but my ice cube's melted down to about a half of what it was. So for those of you who jumped on a little late, you want to get an object. For me, I've got an ice cube in a bowl. Any kind of an object, a rock, whatever. You're going to be putting it either in the garden outside. You can bury it. You can just set it there. It doesn't matter. If you have the ice cube, you can put it down the sink, whatever you want. I'm going to put my ice cube out in the garden. I think that's where it belongs. So here is our healing process. For this exercise, you can use an ice cube or any natural object such as a stone, twig, or leaf that you can deposit in your garden and forget about once you have completed your healing process. Maybe about a third. Yes, I did get mine out earlier. Place your object in a dish. Then place your hands hovering slightly over it. Okay? And then you're going to say these words, and I'm going to do the call response thing with this. So I'll say it and then you repeat. This object beneath my hands represents all that I've been holding on to, consciously or unconsciously. I am being asked to release it for my own greatest good, to unfold according to the miraculous and enlightening power of divine joy, grace, and intervention. Now take a few slow breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. You keep breathing. Imagine any feelings of fear, doubt, distrust, unworthiness, or uncertainty. Things that have kept you holding on when you know you could be letting go. Pour out of your mind and heart, along your arms and out of your hands, transforming all of that into your chosen object. All right, so let's just take a minute to do that. We're dumping everything that keeps us stuck holding on into our object. So fear, doubt, unworthiness, yeah buts, what ifs, old history, things people have told us. You can't do that. That won't work. Who do you think you are? All getting dumped into this object. Just feel it pouring down your arms, out your hands, into the object. I'm not looking, but I'm envisioning this ice cube getting dirtier and dirtier and dirtier. You know that snow that's along the roadside with all the mud splashed up on it? It's kind of what it's becoming. Keep pouring it in there. All of that junk that has gotten in the way of releasing, letting go, operating in faith and trust, turning it over to the divine. All of that getting dumped into that object. Don't force it. It can happen easily and quickly, whether you feel it happening consciously or not. Now, when you are ready, turn your hands up the other way, so your palms are facing upward. Hold your hands near your body at a comfortable height, perhaps slightly below your heart, and say the following out loud or quietly in your mind. And again, we'll do call and response. I call upon the unconditional love of Kuan Yin, she who transforms the heaviest burden through joy so that it becomes light as a feather. I ask for your intervention, your grace and your assistance now. May I tread the path of grace. May I be strong enough to surrender and allow my burdens to be made lighter, so love can manifest itself through me and bless the world. Lift me into joy so that I may be free. So be it. Place your hands at your heart and imagine a beautiful light, perhaps green or white or gold, whatever would feel good, pouring from your hands into your heart. And my ears are ringing. This is the blessing of Kuan Yin. Just relax and feel the goodness entering your heart. Place your hands in prayer at your forehead for a moment and say thank you. You may want to bow a bit. Whenever I put my hands to my forehead, the bow is always there. Take your object and place it in the garden. Or if you've used an ice cube, you may prefer to simply let it melt away in the sink. Remember, this is what you are releasing, so that the lightness of spirit, joy, and divine grace can intervene in all situations happening in your life. As you surrender your object to the garden or kitchen sink, do so with peace in your heart. Know that however your life unfolds, you can afford to seek simple joy, appreciation, and gratitude for simple pleasures throughout your day, as you are held in the lightening grace of the Divine Mother. And that is our process for today. How is that for way awesome, huh? How do you feel? I feel lighter. I feel lighter. This is good. This is good. Allowing the universe to take the wheel with this thing. I do my part. I show up. I do as I am guided. But I don't have to be all and end all. We have support. We have a huge support team in the divine. Glad you enjoyed, Cindy. Glad you enjoyed. So, go forth into your day. Deposit your item wherever you've decided you're going to deposit it, and then get on with your day, just letting that all go. Knowing that it is the bread rising behind the scenes. It's taking care of itself. We don't have to worry about it. Things will be presented to us as we need to take care of something. We can trust that. Have an awesome Thursday. We'll see you again tomorrow. Remember, you're capable of far more than you think you are, especially with divine support. Bye-bye.